everybody. My name is Erica Thomas. This is my second year at Brenau University, and I'm going for my bachelor's in early childhood education. I live in Commerce, Georgia, but I've lived in Georgia my whole life. I actually grew up in Snellville. I am married. It was actually 7 years this past December, and I have a 2.5-year-old named Savannah Ray. She is a sassy little thing, but she actually goes to a daycare facility called Discovery Point where I work. I started out at Discovery Point as an assistant in the toddlers class, which is 18 months to 2 years old. But I am now the lead in what we call pre-K prep, which is ages 3 to 4 years old. I have 22 in my class, and I've been back there for a year and a half. 3 to 4 year olds are spunky, and they keep me on my toes, but I absolutely love every minute of it. They definitely keep everything interesting for you, to say the least. Before I started working at Discovery Point, I worked at Chateau Lawn, which is a winery near North Georgia. I worked there for 6 years. I started as a waitress, and by the time I ended, I was one of the spa managers and a spa group sales coordinator. I left that when I decided that I wanted to do something more productive with my life. I wanted to figure out where my passions were. I've always thought about education, so I figured, hey, why not start in a daycare, see if I can handle children, even if they're younger. So I started there and loved it and decided to come back to school. I have my associates in science, but decided to go back to school for early childhood education. One of my earliest memories is of my elementary school teacher. It's when I lived in Snellville. It was at Centerville Elementary, and her name was Brenda Lowry. I will never forget it. I was one of those kids that got in trouble a lot. Not because I was physical or anything like that, but more like I wouldn't stop talking. I was the kid that they moved me by myself and I talked to the wall. The kid who got in trouble for singing in the bathroom or running down the hallway and sliding on my knees. I was that kid. And Miss Lowry always would sit me down and talk to me and kind of get through to me and speak to me like a person, not really talk down to me. And I remember that, and I'm 26 years old, and I still remember the effect that she had on me. She was firm. She was definitely a firm teacher, but so loving, and at no point did I ever question her feelings about me, and her not liking me or something like that, no matter how many times that I got in trouble. And I remember like third and fourth grade getting in trouble in class, and they would still send me back to her because she was the only one that could get through to me. And she is who I associate with when I think of people who have changed my idea of education, who I aspire to be as a teacher. Because, like I said, I'm 26 years old and I still remember Brenda Lowry. But what makes me want to be like her is the fact that I recently, in the past few years, looked her up again, and she was still at Centerville, and she was an administrator at this point, and I sent her an email to let her know how much she inspired me. And I was like, I know you probably don't remember me, anything like that. Gave her very few details about myself. And I was shocked when I got a message back from her, and she did remember me. She actually had pictures of me from like the third grade because she tutored me. Um, and there's pictures of her and I that she still had, and she remembered exactly who I was. And I mean, at this time, I was married. I had a different name. I mean, obviously, I looked different than when I was in the third grade. And I just, it, it shocked me and made me think that's what I want to be. That's what I want to do. I want to inspire people the way they inspired me. And she made me want to get into education. So, well, that's about it. I hope everybody has an awesome semester and good luck.